Hey, it's me again. I've been doing this a long time, and let me tell you, I've heard it all. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that's as old as time itself. Who cheats? And who cheats? Well, men and women, of course. It's a tale as old as time. But you know what's really interesting? While researching the types of men and women most likely to cheat, I discovered there were various professions that many of the cheaters shared in common. Now, I'm not saying everyone in these professions is out there running around, but let's just say, statistically speaking, these folks seem to have a higher temptation level. So buckle up, because we're about to uncover the professions most likely to have a wandering eye. The reality of law enforcement infidelity. First up, we got our men and women in blue law enforcement officers. Now, I'm not saying these folks don't have tough jobs. They deal with the worst of the worst every single day. The stress, the long hours, and the trauma can take a toll on anyone, especially their relationships. But that doesn't give them a free pass to step out. You see, when you're dealing with danger and darkness on a daily basis, it can create a strange kind of intimacy with the people you work with, and sometimes that line between professional and personal gets blurred. Add in the adrenaline rush, the need for escape, and you've got yourself a recipe for infidelity. Next, we're diving into the world of federal agents. These folks are highly trained, highly skilled, and highly secretive. They live in a world of shadows, always on the lookout for the next threat. And while their dedication to their country is admirable, it can come at a cost, especially in their personal lives. You see, when you spend your days living a double life, it can be hard to switch off. The secrecy, the lies, and the constant pressure can create a distance in even the strongest relationships, and that distance can be a breeding ground for infidelity. Ever wonder what goes on at 30,000 feet? Well, let's just say it's not always pretty. Pilots, with their jet-setting lifestyles and charming uniforms, might seem like a catch. But the reality is, their job often takes them away from home for days, even weeks at a time. Now, I understand that absence can make the heart grow fonder, but it can also make the heart wander. Think about it. They are in a different city every night, surrounded by new faces, and temptation is just a layover away. It's no wonder infidelity is a common problem in this profession. Love and war, the battle against military infidelity. Our military men and women make incredible sacrifices for our country. They put their lives on the line every day, facing danger and uncertainty. But the truth is, the battlefield isn't the only place where they're fighting. Military relationships face unique challenges, long deployments, constant moves, and the ever-present threat of loss. It's no wonder that infidelity is a major issue in the military. The stress of deployment, the fear of losing their loved ones, the need for connection, it can drive even the most committed individuals to seek comfort in the arms of another. Our last call for love? Let's talk about the temptation of bartenders and servers. Now let's talk about the folks who keep the drinks flowing and the party going. Bartenders and servers. These hard-working individuals are often surrounded by temptation. They work late hours in environments where alcohol is flowing freely, and they're constantly interacting with people looking for a good time. It's a recipe for disaster, folks. The constant flirting, the free-flowing booze, the opportunity for late-night encounters. It's no wonder that infidelity is rampant in this industry. The high stakes of corporate infidelity. Next up, we're stepping into the world of high-powered business executives. These folks are driven, ambitious, and used to getting what they want. They work long hours, travel frequently, and are constantly surrounded by opportunities for temptation. The pressure to succeed, the constant networking events, the allure of power can all lead to a sense of entitlement and a disregard for the rules, especially when it comes to relationships. Legal briefs, broken hearts, the truth about infidelity among attorneys, lawyers, those defenders of justice are not immune to the temptations of infidelity. Their high-stress jobs, long hours, and constant dealings with conflict can take a toll on their personal lives. They're used to arguing, debating, and winning. And sometimes that competitive spirit spills over into their relationships. The pressure to win cases, the constant need for control, the emotional detachment that comes with the job can create a dangerous cocktail for infidelity. Rock and roll heartbreak, the unfaithful melodies of musicians. Musicians, those creative souls with their hearts on their sleeves, often have a reputation for being unfaithful. And let's face it, the rock and roll lifestyle isn't exactly conducive to monogamy. They're on the road constantly, surrounded by adoring fans and living in a world where excess is the norm. The constant travel, the late nights, the temptation of groupies is a recipe for infidelity. Restaurant romances, the recipe for infidelity in the culinary world. Restaurateurs, the masters of our palates, also have a reputation for being unfaithful. The restaurant industry is demanding, with long hours, late nights, and a high-pressure environment. They're constantly surrounded by food, wine, and people looking for a good time. The close quarters, the late-night shifts, the constant temptation, it's no wonder that infidelity is common in this industry. Showbiz secrets, the spotlight on entertainment industry infidelity. The entertainment industry, with its glitz, glamour, and constant attention, is a breeding ground for infidelity. Actors, musicians, and other performers are constantly in the public eye, surrounded by temptation and pressure to maintain their image. The constant scrutiny, the pressure to stay relevant, the allure of fame can all lead to a sense of invincibility and a disregard for the rules, especially when it comes to relationships. Behind closed doors, the untold story of stay-at-home mum-dad infidelity. Now, this one might surprise you. Stay-at-home mums and dads, those who choose to stay home and raise their children, are not immune to infidelity. While their commitment to their families is admirable, the isolation, lack of adult interaction, and feelings of inadequacy can sometimes lead them astray. The lack of appreciation, the monotony of daily routines, the need for validation, it can create a void that some stay-at-home mums and dads try to fill outside their marriages. In the end, when it comes to cheating, it's not about the profession, it's about the person. Look, I'm not saying everyone in these professions is a cheater. These professions are not inclusive of all cheaters, just those I encountered while researching this topic. With 18 hours in a day, plus access to technology and a marketplace, any individual with the desire to cheat will find the opportunity to do so. Through researching how cheaters cheat, I realized that men and women both behave in certain inappropriate ways to fulfill a need. We have different types of relationships in our lives because they serve a need, whether it is for romance, friendship, or community, and each type should benefit both parties. Over time, when one or both parties realize that a need is not being met, one or both will begin to think about how to get that need met. Most mature adults will communicate their feelings with their significant others, while other adults, the cheaters, will simply find someone else who is willing to meet their needs. As part of my research, I would pose as an unhappily married woman and a single woman to identify which of the two would most likely attract a cheater. The single woman persona seemed to attract the most cheaters, likely due to the perception of having a more flexible schedule to meet and connect, if you know what I mean. In the many instances of attempting to identify who most likely cheats, one central characteristic stood out the most: narcissism. Narcissists are notorious for cheating because of their insatiable need for attention and to feel special. If you are not familiar with narcissism, I have videos on narcissism that provide a high-level overview of this personality disorder, often referred to as NPD. NPD is the acronym for Narcissism Personality Disorder. Note, those who suspect they are being cheated on will watch my videos, while cheaters will probably skip them because they don't want to hear about themselves. And truth be told, cheaters will most likely not think they have any type of personality disorder. Follow me and subscribe to learn more about NPD. If I can be incredibly forthright, if you only watch one video from my collection, listen to my NPD videos, because knowing about these people early in life would save you a lifetime or heartaches and mistakes.